Welcome back. You're watching the Property Guide in ET now. Thank you for staying with us. Our guests are still with us as well, helping us make smart decisions when it comes to investing in property. This week, we're traveling down south to review the market of Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. Traditionally a textile hub, it's now becoming a hub for luxury villas and IT. Let's take a look at the prices with Avan.
Thanks for that, Faye. Well, residential prices in the industrial hub of Coimbatore have witnessed a slow but steady rise over the past 1 year. Despite being an IT hub, Saravanampatti has witnessed a 5% decline in property prices over the last 1 year. Homes in this neighborhood are priced at 3,401 rupees per square foot, the cheapest in Coimbatore. On the other hand, the suburb of Vadavalli has witnessed a 23% appreciation in the property prices over 2 years. Residential properties here are currently quoting at 3,875 rupees per square foot. The tourist spot of Singanallur has seen a 9% rise in property prices over the last 2 years. Homes here are currently quoting at 3,925 rupees per square foot compared to 3,600 rupees per square foot in 2011. Pellamedu, which is the location of the international airport, has witnessed a meager 8% rise in property prices over the last 1 year. The home prices here are currently quoting at 4,900 rupees per square foot compared to 4,525 rupees per square foot in 2012. The fast-developing suburb of Avinashi Road has seen a price increase of 22% in just 1 year. Home prices here are currently quoting at 5,075 rupees per square foot, the most expensive locality in Coimbatore. With that, it's back to you, Faye.
All right, Avan, thank you for that information. Which actually, if you look at Coimbatore right now on the website, given the fact that it comes second to Chennai, do you still think it makes sense for a lot of investors to consider? Is there a lot of action there?
In the Coimbatore market, we see a lot of action. There are primarily three reasons why Coimbatore is important. One is that it is one of the largest auto component hubs in the country today. The second thing is that there is a strong IT and ITES market which drives demand, and there is a very big NRI demand. All three put together, there are 4 or 5 segments which are driving the Coimbatore market. We see a lot of interest in Vadavalli, Singanallur, Peelamedu, Avinashi Road, and Papa Naik Pad. I'm not sure whether I'm saying it correctly, but that is the area where I see a lot of interest in from these sectors.
So that's Coimbatore. I'm going to put up that list that Jayashree just mentioned on your screen right now. And the last name that she was talking about is Papan Naikanpudur. That's also on your screen. Now, Ravi, these are all priced between 3,500 to 5,000 rupees a square foot. If I were to ask you to pick one as the strongest investment destination, which one would that be?
I would probably go for Saravanampatti. And that's because of the IT hub. Companies like Cognizant, Robert Bosch have their own campuses. If we see continued IT demand, which has, I must admit that IT demand has been not as robust as Chennai or Bangalore, but obviously those are tier 1 cities compared to this. But we've seen some good action in this location called Saravanampatti, which is about 10 kilometers from the airport. And there also, I think the prevailing prices are between 3,500 to 5,000 rupees a square feet. We see some.
In all fairness, I can still buy in Bangalore at 4,500 rupees a square foot, which is the IT capital, which is a city where the demand driven from IT will never die. Why would I choose Coimbatore over Bangalore?
So I think you're right. So the target audience is not only IT. The target audience is also the NRI community, which wants to come back home and buy a house. Should they retire? Should they come back home at Coimbatore? And these are the South Indian traditional folks. Then there is also the traditional industrial houses. Let's not forget that Coimbatore is a very entrepreneurial city. So there is money to be made from the business houses, and they want to spend on luxury homes as well.
If you're looking to buy a home in Coimbatore, our experts have put their heads together and made this list for you. Take a look. Well, if Coimbatore is your location of choice, here are some investment destinations you could consider. Orchids Phase 2 by Rakindo Developers, Sri Sai Kripa by Ravi Murgai Construction, Royal Skyline by Royal Shelter, Sri Shiva's Castle by Aravinda Builders, Shobha Westill, Shobha Developers, and Elysium Flushing by Elysium Properties. Quick questions, Anil Reddy. NRI from Hyderabad wants to buy an apartment or a plot of land in Hyderabad with a budget of 2 crore rupees, which is very generous if you're considering Hyderabad. Now, he's narrowed down his locations to Jubilee Hills, Madhapur or Gachibowli. Please advise. Jayashree, for 2 crore rupees, if he goes into Madhapur or Gachibowli right now, he could buy something of a palace, couldn't he?
Yes, huge apartments he can buy, 2,500 to 4,000 square feet. In Gachibowli, he'll get roughly about 2,800 to 4,000. And in Jubilee Hills also, he will get a 1,500 to 2,800. He's got a huge budget for an area like this.
Huge apartment in good location. So of the three that he's talking about, Gachibowli, Madhapur, Jubilee Hills, of course, Jubilee Hills, he'll be able to buy a nice bungalow perhaps. What would you recommend he does?
I think he shortlisted the right location. So if he wants to live in it on his own, nothing like Jubilee Hills, it's right in the heart of the city. But from an investment perspective, we will see Gachibowli, Madhapur give 10 to 15%, kind of appreciation per annum over the next 3 to 5 years. I think the elections may not have that much of a bearing. Telangana seems to be a proposal now which may get approved. So I think it's time to put in money at Hyderabad. That was always a dark horse. Next 2 to 3 years, we'll see some improvement.
All right, I have room for just one more question. I'm going to take one from Sai, who's also an NRI, who's written in, wants to buy an apartment in Vadodara in Gujarat, budget of 40 lakh rupees. Narrowed down his choices to Shangri-La from Alchemy Real Estate. He wants to know if that's a good option. Given the budget that he has, Jayashree, is there a better option or a better location for him in Vadodara?
There are 2 3 areas where he can look for ready to move in options, which is what he wanted, I think. You can look at Gothri Road and Sama Savli Road. Both of them, he would be able to get about a 3-bedroom apartment. I think he should be able to get about 1,300 to 1,600 at the Gothri Road, and Sama Savli Road about 1,600 to 1,700 square foot apartments. And the interesting thing is that there's a good rental demand here. So as a result, he should be able to get about 12 to 13,000 as a rental return in Gothri Road, and Sama Savli he should be able to get 17,000 to 18,000 per month as a rental return.
All right, and if you're an NRI obviously and you're looking to buy a home to move into eventually, makes sense to have rental yield in the meantime, so it subsidizes some of its own costs. Jayashree and Ravi, thank you so much for spending time with us this week and answering all of our questions. Now, if you have questions for them, write to us. Our email ID is at the bottom of your screen. When we come back from this break, we'll sit down with HDIL. We'll talk about eroding investor confidence in Mumbai. Don't go anywhere.